Welcome back. My name's C.L. Creech. I'm the author, creator, and publisher of One Last Quest. And we are reading, well, I'm reading this to you guys. Hopefully you're reading along with me. We're on chapter 3. If you haven't listened to the other ones in this group, I suggest you go do those first or you're going to be completely lost. For those that are listening to these in order, let's get on with chapter 3. Chapter 3, Adventurers Assemble. By the time Danny and Michelle made it back to his apartment, the idea was starting to develop. He knew it'd be tricky to get everyone back together, but it had to be done and fast. Once everyone can come together, that's when the quest could begin. Michelle and Danny walked into his apartment. It was very dirty and with trash everywhere. Michelle felt a little uncomfortable in more ways than one. "Just knock the junk off the couch and you can crash there," Danny said to Michelle, pointing to a couch covered in beer cans, pizza boxes, and what Michelle assumed to be very old potato chip crumbs. "Thank you," Michelle said reluctantly, wondering what diseases she might get by sitting on this couch. "I think." "Hey, butthead, you bring breakfast?" Tim screamed from his bedroom. "You can get your own damn breakfast, asshole," Danny screamed back angrily. "Got a friend crashing on the couch tonight. Don't mess with her." It was rare that Tim came out of his bedroom. It was even rarer that Tim ever interacted with any of Danny's guests. Danny wanted Michelle to feel as comfortable as possible, so he thought it would make her feel better by setting the tone with Tim. "Whatever, man," came Tim's reply. Danny showed Michelle around the apartment, showing her the kitchen where she could get snacks, if there were any, the bathroom, and the television across from the couch. He even offered to let her use his favorite bong. She politely declined as she wasn't a smoker. Michelle sat down on the couch and immediately pulled out wet naps and started cleaning any surface that she might come in contact with. It's nothing against Danny, but if she was going to stay here, she didn't want to take anything when she left. Danny gave Michelle the remote control of the television before heading to his room to start calling the rest of the group. Michelle had no idea what Danny was up to, but she felt that she had to trust him, even though she had no idea why. "I've seen gas station bathrooms cleaner than this couch," Michelle said to herself. Now, once Danny got to his bedroom, his mission was clear. He had to start calling the others and getting them here fast. The only person he kept in contact with regularly was Rick, so that's where he started. Rick was constantly juggling his kids' schedules, but he always had his cell phone on him. He had a very busy life and was always on the go. When Danny called him, he was in the kitchen cooking. After a quick exchange of pleasantries, Danny got down to business. "So here's what I'm thinking, Danny said to Rick. "Remember that epic 3-day weekend we spent LARPing by the lake?" Now, LARPing is live-action role-playing. They saw it as a way to make tabletop gaming come to life. Each player dressed as their character and acted out quests created by the game master. Yeah, that was a lot of fun," Rick said. "I don't know if I had time." Danny quickly explained Michelle's situation, hoping Rick could understand. Rick had to know how important the weekend would be. "Come on," Danny said persuasively. "Our quest is to let Michelle know how much we care about her and we support her. Her family turned their backs on her. We need to be there for her. Or we need to let her know that we're her family and will always be there for her." "Jenny, put that down!" Rick screamed at his youngest daughter, who was running around the house, running around with a whisk before continuing. It sounds like a good idea. I think I could free up a weekend next month." Danny knew next month wouldn't work. They had to start the quest soon, preferably today or tomorrow at the latest. "I was hoping we could head out in the morning," Danny said hopefully. "It's going to be rough. Nick has football practice, Jenny's got a dance recital, and... Jenny, I said put that down or there won't be a recital for you tomorrow." Danny could hear Rick struggling in the background to get his whisk away from his daughter. "Sounds like you need a weekend away anyway. Plus, come on, it's about Michelle," Danny said, trying to persuade his old friend. Rick paused everything he was doing and thought for a moment. He remembered all the great times they had together. He also thought about all the times Michelle was there for him when he felt alone and thought he didn't have anyone else. "Let me make a couple of calls," Rick said with a slight tear in his eye. "Think I can make it work. It's going to be a stretch, but I should be able to do it. I'll meet you at your place in the morning." That was the best news Danny heard in a long time. Danny was overjoyed. "Great," Danny said enthusiastically. "I knew you would work your magic. Now, do you have Jackie and Kelly's phone numbers?" Rick didn't talk to either of them much, but he did have their numbers. He was okay giving Jackie's number to Danny, but he had reservations about Kelly's. "Kelly will kill me for giving you her number," Rick said with a sigh. Rick searched his cell phone and gave Danny the phone numbers for Jackie and Kelly before he got to work making arrangements for his kids. It would take him the rest of the day to take care of everything. After hanging up, Rick pulled up a photo on his phone of the group together. That's when it dawned on him how important this quest was going to be. Danny decided to call Jackie next. He knew she would be excited. Back in the day, she was always up for hanging out with the group. She'd drop almost anything to go hang out with them. And when Danny got a hold of her, she was at work. "Hey, Danny!" Jackie exclaimed into her wireless earpiece as she placed handcuffs on a criminal she pinned to the ground. "What's up?" Danny explained what was going on with Michelle and the idea for the weekend. He tried to stress to her how important this was. She didn't need much convincing. "Sounds good," Jackie said happily. "So what's the plan? Are we meeting at the lake?" I was thinking we would meet at my place and all ride up together. It'll give us more time to spend together." "That works," Jackie replied. "Got some vacation time. I'll call my captain and drive down late tonight. I'll grab some steaks on the way. It'll be great over an open fire." "Camping steaks?" The criminal underneath Jackie asked with a sarcastic tone. "Can I come too? I'm a hoot at parties." "Shut up! Shut up!" Jackie exclaimed angrily before I tase your ass again. Wow, I'm not really getting Jackie's voice, guys. I'm sorry about that. Danny was feeling good. Jackie and Rick were both in. Now Danny had the most difficult call to make. Kelly was the love of his life, and he knew she would not want to talk to him. When the phone rang, Kelly didn't recognize the number, but she answered anyway. It was normal for her friends to get new numbers without telling her. "Hi, Kelly," Danny said reluctantly before Kelly hung up on him. Maybe Danny should have gotten one of the others to call Kelly. He knew she didn't want to hear from him, but he was the one organizing the quest. He had to keep trying. Danny paused for a minute before calling again. "Hi, Kelly. Please don't hang up," Danny said very quickly. "This is not about me or about us. This is about helping Michelle. Please let me explain." Kelly was outside feeding her dogs. She reluctantly agreed to hear him out as long as he was fast. "Fine. You've got 2 minutes." Danny very quickly told Kelly what was going on with Michelle and his idea for the weekend. He tried to make it clear to her that this was not about the two of them. Instead, it was all for Michelle. "There is no way in hell I'm going anywhere with you," Kelly said angrily. "I'm going to kill Rick for giving you my number. I've already had to change my number 6 times because of you. Looks like this will be number 7. "Look, this isn't about me or you," Danny said uncharacteristically forcefully. "This is for Mike. Michelle. Will you put your hate for me aside for a minute and think about it?" I don't know," Kelly said, thinking it over. "She'd do it for you," Danny said, trying to calm her down. "Yeah, I know she would," Kelly replied. "In fact, she already did," Danny said, thinking back to a time many years before. "Remember? Mike was the one who drove 6 hours to take you and your cat to the emergency veterinarian surgeon because it got out and swallowed that rock it couldn't pass." "I remember," Kelly said, remembering her cat Fergie and how Michelle saved him. "That was the only surgeon in 3 states that was open on Christmas Eve. He spent the entire day helping you save Fluffy's life." "It was Fergie," Kelly said thoughtfully and tearing up. "The surgery saved her life, and she got hit by lightning and died 2 weeks later." Yeah, and who got us all together and performed a funeral for her? Danny asked. Kelly got quiet for a moment. She had to think about this. She did owe a lot to Mike. He'd done a lot for her back in the day. He was a true friend to her. But then again, she'd have to put up with Danny, and to her, that was a fate worse than death. Okay, fine, Kelly said after thinking it over. I'm in. But if you so much as breathe in my general direction, then I will I will pull your testicles out through your nose. Deal, Danny exclaimed with a shy smile. Tell everyone I'll see them in the morning, Kelly replied. Kelly looked up to see one of her dogs chasing someone. Jethro! Danny heard Kelly yell. The mailman is not a chew toy. Put his mail bag down! As Kelly hung up, Danny felt both hope and relief. Tomorrow they would begin the most important quest they'd ever embarked on. As for today, but as for what was left of today, well, he was going to spend that getting to know the person his best friend had become. And that ends us for tonight. Guys, I hope you are enjoying One Last Quest. You can see Chapter 4 is right there on the screen. I will be back tomorrow to read Chapter 4 with you guys. Hopefully I'll have a better voice for Jackie. I haven't really figured that one out yet. But, maybe British. I don't. I'll talk to you guys soon.